Well, today we're going to the Battle of the Waxhaws, also known as the Buford Massacre. It's a beautiful day in early October. Not a cloud in the sky. It's about low 80s, high 70s. And I'm leaving from a different direction. I'm leaving from Camden, South Carolina today. The Waxhaws were named after a Native American tribe that lived in the area near Lancaster, South Carolina. They were mostly decimated by diseases that were brought over by white colonists, and by 1720 they were all but gone. Most of them kind of folded into the Catawba tribe. In the Waxhaw, North Carolina, the town of Waxhaw is not far from Lancaster. In the South, we call it Lancaster. In Britain, we call it Lancaster. And right now we're on 521-601, which is a truck route going north out of Camden. We're on the road now to Buford Battlefield. But we're going to go right by the Camden Battlefield site, which I'll talk to you guys about in a future episode. That was a devastating loss for the Patriots in August of 1780. The battle we're going to see today was fought on May 29th, earlier in 1780, same year. It's named after Colonel Abraham Buford. It was in charge of about 350 men, mostly from Virginia, and it was a battle fought against Colonel Banastre Tarleton, known as Butcher Ben, which I detailed in the last episode at Fishing Creek. Here's the Camden Battlefield site. You can see all the pine trees. They have grown up in 250 years, but there were some open fields in the past. Now it's mostly scrub pines. They've done a good job refurbishing it in the last couple of years. Tell you a little bit about the battle on the way up here. Buford was in a slow retreat from Charleston. He had been sent down there to reinforce the city, but before he got there, Charleston fell to the British and Cornwallis, so he turned around and started heading back up north. Cornwallis dispatched Tarleton to chase him, and they caught up with him up here in Lancaster, near Lancaster. And I'm currently on Flat Rock Road. Tarleton only had about 160 men versus the Patriots had 350. So they were outnumbered, but they were cavalry and light infantry, and they could move faster. Well, this is the little town of Heath Springs. Oh, they have a nice locomotive right there. I wonder if it works. But Heath Springs we'll take you to next time. It's the Battle of Hanging Rock, which was actually a Patriot victory. Everything I've shown you so far has been a British victory. Turns out that most of the legion that was under Tarleton in the Buford Massacre was They were loyalists, mostly from New York, that had been recruited. They weren't British. Most of them weren't British. Tarleton was British. Of course, they have a Dollar Tree and a Family Dollar. And LCWSD stands for Lancaster County Water and Sewer District, in case you wondered. Okay, so we're on South Carolina Route 522, and the Buford Massacre battleground is 4/10 of a mile on my left. I got bug guts all over my visor, so it's hard to see the GPS on the phone. It should be coming up right here. And here it is. So Buford formed up a line right there, and he ordered his men not to fire until the British were 10 yards away. Well, as you know, the muskets, flintlocks of the time, could only fire one shot, one volley. Then you had to fall back or reload, and it takes me about a minute and a half to reload. Those guys could do it in 30 seconds or so. But that was probably a bad mistake. The British charged in with bayonets and devastated the Patriots. They were hit hard on the first wave, and actually they offered to surrender. Well, Tarleton had been shot, his horse had been shot out from under him, and he was pinned under his horse. And the British, or loyalists, thought that he was killed. So they there was no one in charge or in command, so they overreacted, and they charged in and slaughtered the Patriots. It was basically a massacre. The Patriots had 350 total men. 113 were killed outright, 153 were wounded, and 50 were taken prisoner. So that's 80% of their force. The British only lost 5 killed, 12 wounded. And the only thing good that came out of this event became a galvanizing event for the Patriot forces, who adopted a slogan of "Remember the Waxhaws," or, as I said, "No quarter," or Tarleton's quarter. And it cemented Tarleton's reputation as a butcher, which was a little bit unjustified. It also increased recruits for the Patriots in the coming months. It stirred up a lot of anti-British sentiment in the colonies. This stone was dedicated in 29th of May 2005, the 225th anniversary of the battle. A few of them escaped on horse. Buford escaped. From this battle came the war cry, "Remember Tarleton's quarter," which means that in the future they were going to give the British no quarter, meaning no prisoners. And one of the signs said 84 Virginia Continentals were buried here, right near where they fell on May 29th, 1780. So this is part of the trail that they've built here, which it's pretty nice. They mowed a path, and there's markers all the way along. There's 51 acres they preserved here. And it's kind of a busy road. It heads right into Lancaster. We'll be going up that way. Very nicely done park. So this is the bustling city of Lancaster. Pretty busy. Lancaster, South Carolina has a population of about, I'd say 8,500, maybe 9,000, but it's growing. And they do have a bowling alley. And here is Taylor Creek. That's the creek. And that's the lake. Lake Wateree. And up here on the left is Lake Wateree State Park.